What's up, guys? Michael here with Valencia Fan TV. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to watch more Valencia content and more La Liga content. What a crazy day it's been. I'm sweating, I'm out of breath. Crazy transfers all around. I think the biggest thing has to be Atletico Madrid bringing back Antoine Griezmann. Antoine Griezmann was obviously incredible with them before, and they're bringing him back for a fraction of the price that they let him go for. It's reported to be a 2-year loan with an option to buy of 40 million. So Barcelona is going to recoup some of those funds, but nothing like they actually paid for him. Moving on, Chelsea are actually signing Saul, so Atletico is getting a little bit weaker in the midfield. However, they did bring in Rodrigo de Paul earlier in the year, so it shouldn't be too much of a loss for them. And I'm excited to see Eduardo Camavinga coming into Real Madrid. He's definitely a promising player, and it's good to see some more young players joining La Liga, and definitely a bright step for the future of Real Madrid and for La Liga in general. Obviously, Mbappe never got done this year, but I think Mbappe is going to sign in January or next year for free. That's the more logical step. I'm not sure why Madrid was going to try to pay $200 million for a player they can get for free anyway, but that's their problem. So moving on to Valencia, we've had some pretty big moves ourselves. Nothing obviously to that scale, but I'm pretty excited about some of the moves we got. I think the first player I'm going to talk about is Costa. He's a 27-year-old winger. He was once highly touted. Once, like every Portuguese winger, was dubbed the next Ronaldo. Never lived up to that hype, but he's a solid player. He can definitely come in and contribute to us as backup for Cheryshev, for Guedes, Soler. Maybe he can even work in there and beat one of those guys out for a starting spots. We'll see. He has quite the pedigree. He's played for Benfica, which is one of the biggest clubs in Portugal. He's played for Wolves, which is basically the Portuguese national team in club form, and most recently for Leeds. So he's a very exciting player. He's only 27. Probably has 5 years or so left at the highest level, and I'm excited to see what he can do here at Valencia. Moving on to what I think is actually the most exciting transfer of the day for us was Hugo Duro from Getafe. A 21-year-old Spanish striker. He obviously has a past history of working with Bordalás, and I'm hoping that Bordalás can bring him back in here and get the best out of him. He was formerly a Real Madrid prospect. He never quite made it there. It's obviously hard to make it in one of the top 3 clubs, but hopefully he's going to make it here at Valencia. I think he really kind of fits in as the perfect replacement for Kang and Lee. Same positions, similar age profile, and somebody who's eager to get back here, eager to work. He's trying to make the step up from Getafe to one of the top clubs, and I'm super excited to bring him in here. Now, this is an interesting one. We brought him in on a loan. His contract expires in June of this year, so I'm not sure why we can't assign him on a free at the end of the year if we want to. And it's kind of the perfect win-win scenario for Valencia. If he comes in, he plays well, we keep him for no transfer fee and just pay his wages. I don't see the downside. If he plays bad, we just let him go. So it seems like the perfect move for Valencia, and one they should keep, and type of move they should keep making in the future. We also picked up a very versatile player in a 27-year-old midfielder, Dimitri Folklaire. We paid $2.75 million to get him from Granada, so he has experience in the league. He's also played in the Premier League. I really see him as the type of player who's going to kind of replace Was over the next year or two. How Was is very versatile. He can play right back, right mid, center defensive mid. This guy's kind of the same mold. I think he's a little less attacking than Was, but he can play all over the field. At the very least, he provides depth for us. If we're going to be challenging in Copa del Rey and trying to get a Europa League spot, at very least he'll be great cover for us. And I think a player who can actually develop into a potential starter. So hopefully he works out, and at the end of the day, $2.75 million isn't really a big purchase price, so we can't really lose much on this one. And then obviously we had Marcos Andre come in, a 24-year-old Brazilian striker. He came in last week, and he's already made his first team debut. I don't think he was anything special on the debut. I'm not going to judge him too harshly. He came in after we were already up 3-0. It's kind of hard to have intensity at that point. He did have a golden opportunity to make an instant impact with a goal, but he had a bad first touch. So hopefully he gets a little better and helps Valencia moving forward. So how would I rate Valencia's transfer window as a whole? I'd probably give us a B, B+, and realistically a lot more than I expected. We lost King and Lee, which was sad. Top prospect for no transfer fee. But we did kind of get a direct replacement in Hugo Duro, a guy who's also very talented and very promising. And we signed a couple players. I didn't have high expectations, especially after last year. I think the big thing is we maintained our core, we didn't lose any more players, and we added some depth. This is what separates Valencia from the mid-pack teams. We can have more depth than the other teams. So we might have a similar starting 11, but we have the players that if one of these guys goes down, we can actually replace them and rotate the squad to keep it fresh. And I'm glad to see Valencia do this. This is how we should be doing. this is how we should be operating. We should be strengthening from the lower levels of La Liga, the mid-tables of La Liga, teams like Granada, teams like Getafe, no disrespect to them. But they just don't have the spending power that Valencia should have, and this is a good step in the right direction. Hopefully Valencia continues to build on this and has a strong January and then a strong next year as well too. Alright guys, massive thanks for watching. I'm super excited for this season. We're top of the table right now and we have a lot of interesting games coming up. Alright guys, peace out.